Alrighty, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Ramasa, and welcome back to the First Descendant. Now, if you haven't seen the previous episode, we went and defeated the Pyromaniac Colossus, so if you want to go back and check that out, feel free to. It'll be in the Eye in the Sky or the playlist as always. But for today's episode, when we went back to talk to Nell in command, Alpha was actually there. And he said there might be a chance that we can actually turn this whole Corel coming to Albion thing around. So that's where we're starting off, and that's where we will go from. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this episode or any others on my channel, and if you do, please feel free to like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff, because every little bit helps. And since this video comes out, what is it? Couple days after New Year's, Happy New Year's. I hope you've had an excellent holiday season and that you've relaxed and caught up with friends and family and all the other good stuff and just had a generally good time. So okay, question, what is your New Year's resolution? Do you have one? Do you believe in them? This is the question. Alright, so, yeah.
Have you completed
last time we kicked the absolute behemoth out of the Pyromaniac. Crazy battle. Really crazy battle. He can teleport, he has a flamethrower for an arm, and he is just super strong, so I am fearful of going up against these two. Kind of makes me wonder if I should go and, like, kick all this in sequence again. But, hey, time will tell. So yeah, we talked to Nell. She said, there might not be any hope, but Alpha said, there could be hope. Just need to trust the process. So, maybe we'll check my gear real quick, and then we will go. This is not what I wanted to do. Damn it. Okay. I'm clear for that, so... Alright, let's talk to Alpha.
Got a question about the operation?
The commander's resolve.
As all of you know, the situation we find ourselves in seems pretty dire. Due to my lack of sound judgment, I fell for Corel's trap. The Ironheart, which I considered to be our only hope, turned out not to be the key to our salvation after all. If we had used the Ironheart in Albion as I stubbornly insisted, I dread to think what would have happened. This situation is one I created. I am solely to blame. Yes, I am the Descendant who was always defeated. That is likely why I was never able to link with the Guide. I should never have become Commander. However,
you were chosen for
if there was someone who could heed the true calling of the Descendants, then I would let go of everything I have believed in up until now and put my trust in them. Everyone, I am ordering the destruction of the Ironheart. I will deal with the Magisters. I believe they wouldn't be able to survive without us anyway. Descendants, you need to work with the Guide and carry out any and all necessary operations to destroy the Ironheart. No need to wait for approval from HQ. Just make sure you are as victorious in this as you always are. I'm sure that you will be, as you always have been. I place my trust in you, Descendant. Command.
You got it.
We must move quickly. We need to support the Descendants and stop the Vulgus at all costs.
Descendants, I have heard Alpha's message. I am sorry I'm unable to directly communicate with him. Come with me, Descendants. It is our turn now. Descendant.
It's where the headwind blows.
Descendants. We are close to achieving our true target. However, as Alpha said, the situation is dire. We must hurry. First, it would be wise to move the Ironheart in the White Knight Gulch to Albion. Albion has put in place defensive measures to counter Vulgus battleships. We should also be able to access the energy required to destroy the Ironheart. But we need an immense amount of RK to detach an Ironheart which is linked to a Prime Hands.
True.
For this reason, most of the Descendants must be sent to aid the detachment. For you, however, I have a different request. Descendant, come with me to where the phenomenon known as the Pillar of Light occurred. When that Pillar of Light took effect, as well as the energy of the Ironheart, I felt a familiar kind of pain, as if my skin was peeling and my flesh was melting. There must be an inverted Ironheart there. Corel would have connected it to a Prime Hands in order to collapse the dimensional wall. We must stop this before the dimensional wall is completely destroyed. We must retrieve the inverted Ironheart. If we fail to do so, even if the Ironheart is immediately moved to Albion, countless Colossi will appear throughout Ingress.
Which isn't good.
However, if we take back the inverted Ironheart, the destruction of the dimensional wall will be stopped, and Corel's advance will be delayed. I will deliver the mission to detach the Ironheart to the other Descendants. Please go now, to the place where the Pillar of Light was. I will meet you there, Descendant.
Guide, this is Jaber. I've been dispatched to the Hagios. I'm investigating intel that Amon, the General of the Legion of Immortality, was recently here. I don't think Amon appearing at this point in time is a coincidence. I'm sure it's related to this incident.
That is indeed unusual. I'll join you there, Jaber.
So the Legion of Immortality and something called the Pillar of Light. Okay. Talk to Jaber in the Hagios. Oh god. So we're going all the way to the other end. What do we got? We got 4 zones. Cool. And 2 bases and 1 job so far. 2 jobs in the zone though. Alright. Without further ado, let's go. What the hell is that? Holy wow. Okay, so there's control towers like in the Sterile Lands. Huh. So you're Jaber.
Checking signal. Stand by.
Jaber, Albion's genius mechanical engineer. He is a descendant with the unique arcane ability to manipulate mechanisms at will. However, despite his genius level intelligence, he is severely lacking in social skill. Yeah, I feel you there. It's been noted that recently he's been improving in this aspect as he goes on operations with other descendants. Yeah, so he's basically me. Okay, let's go.
Mind if we skip the pleasantries, since we're short on time? If what the guide says is true, in order to retrieve the Ironheart that's here, there's something we have to understand first. The entry device to the Hagios Prime Hands was destroyed a long time ago, and neither we nor the Vulgus could gain entry. But now they've just sauntered in there and connected the Ironheart to the Prime Hands. I think this whole thing has something to do with this intel on Amon. Here.
This is Zachary of the 22nd Recon Squad.
Zachary.
A surveillance drone in the Hagios corrupted zone has tracked the movements of the high-ranking Vulgus, Amon. We're unable to access the data remotely due to our signal being jammed. The surveillance drone needs to be retrieved for the data to be confirmed. Our recon squad has been scattered by a Vulgus attack. Requesting backup.
This communication was received by HQ a few hours ago. Not long after, a pillar of light appeared in Hagios, and Corell's fleet began to move. I think Amon found something in the corrupted zone that allowed them to enter the ruins. Looks like we need to find Amon before we can get the Ironheart.
Copy that.
Don't you think I'm the best person for that job? With my arcane ability? The other Descendants can help with the mission to detach the Ironheart.
No, Jaber. We all need to go together. You should focus on your capabilities, while we handle the battle missions. It would be wise to gather intel on the nearby area first. We will need the recon squad's help to establish Amon's location.
Oh, well, this suddenly turned into a cooperative mission. Well, I guess it should be fine, so long as I don't have to work with loud people like Blair or Luna.
Oh god. Let's put you in. Select the weapon uses material. I don't have anything. I mean, I've got my scout rifle. Yeah. Should have kept that other one. Oh. Alright, so, let's go. We've got Battlefield Mission, Vulgus Blockade, Recon Squad's Trail, and Ally Retreat Route. Okay, cool.
This is Zachary of the 22nd Recon Squad. Zachary, we've identified an allied signal. Please respond.
Zachary, this is the Descendant Jaber. We received your intel.
He's got it hidden hard.
Allied signal, please respond. Communications are unstable.
Looks like the jamming signal is still active.
Gotta hit these shield boys.
Take care of the Vulgus. I need to secure high ground to service the communications grid.
Oh, howdy. Oh, come on. I was right there. God, I love this gun.
Goddamn comms grid. This is Zachary. Sending our location now. Please confirm if you're able to breach the siege and join us here.
Coordinates confirmed. We're not far away. We need to clear a path first.
Change the color on the enemy units, but so far they're pretty standard again. Oh. That looks.
Saber to the 22nd Recon Squad. Securing nearby area and joining you. Over.
Now let's sort up.
Shield is down. There you go.
Gotcha.
Pretty cool, yeah?
Yeah, that works.
Reload.
Anyone
There are
else want
enemies
buddy?
blocking our path. We need to get through them to pass. This is Zachary. The enemy has cordoned off the nearby area, so proceed with caution. Over.
You got it. So we did that one. Now we're doing this one. Recon Squad's trail.
The data the Recon Squad collected is sending out a signal from these coordinates. The Recon data needs to be collected before it's erased. If we don't go and get it, that hard-won data will be lost.
Help. Patience is key.
Confirming retrieval of recon data. Please continue with the operation as originally planned. Zachary, we've broken through the Vulgus blockade. We're trying to pinpoint the locations of the scattered recon squad members.
Understood. Thanks for the support.
I don't need thanks. What I need is the recon squad surveillance data.
Roger that.
You don't seem to be very friendly with your teammates, Jaber.
We're all just pieces on the chessboard of war. We can be best buds after we've won.
Not the best way to go about doing things, though. street route. There we go.
Descendant, I've dispatched a search drone.
Oh god.
Requesting an escort for the search drone and investigation of traces of the scattered recon members.
I'll operate turrets to keep the surrounding area secure, and I'll leave the escorting to you. It's a Vulgus ambush.
Like there always is. Is that what that thing does? Jobs like these.
Approaching Allied signal confirmed.
The
Descendant.
machine gun.
Not far away. We'll be waiting for you.
Shield boy. Right. That is kind of huge.
Alright, based on the analysis of the material, we should be able to pinpoint the locations of the dispersed members.
Yeah, they can't through the door, dude. Unless there's a cave around you. I'll go back and pick up all the loot.
There were times when I felt strange sensations. I thought everyone felt them, but as I grew older, I realized that I had special abilities. I could see better and hear better than other people. Then Magister Nace explained it to me. It was Arche. They told me that Arche was a special power which existed only in this world. And even amongst humankind, only a few people had a small potential to manipulate it. In order to forcibly realize this potential, volunteers were needed for the first experiment. Though the title no longer carries any meaning, I am still a knight. I do not know if I still have a lord to serve, but as a knight, I should not refuse an opportunity to become stronger. And so, I was one of multiple volunteers who stepped up. Each of us stood in front of a strange-looking structure. The Magisters explained that this device was made by beings who ruled this world a long time ago. I don't know how they knew this, but I had to believe them. If it wasn't for the Magisters, many more would have died before we reached this point. We had no other choice but to trust them. The structure lit up and started operating, and I finally knew what the sensations meant. My senses expanded, and what used to feel like grasping in the dark became clear. I could feel the presence of Arche. Now, I do not fear the unknown enemy Vulgus.
Cool. Alright, since this kicks off the next job, I'll leave this episode here, so I'll say thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope it helped you out in any way possible, and if it did, please feel free to like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff, and yeah, we'll experience this next time. It's kind of cool. Alright, well, until then, have a good one. Stay safe, be kind of one another, and yeah, I hope you have a brilliant new year. Until next time, later.